What's up there, SEO pros? Sorry I haven't done a video in a while. Just got back from Costa Rica. Today we're here with Caleb, and she's actually going to be one of our new implementers. And she's local, so we're actually starting a local agency where we're at, which is why I came back to Santa Barbara, but I probably will be doing more traveling in the future. But Kayla, you want to say hi?
What's up, pros?
So what we're doing is I'm trying to show her like the internal processes of what we do for our SEO. Right now we're working with Peak Performance as one of the clients that we're going to be using as an example. So we were actually just doing some basic stuff. I was showing her how to get everything set up, and we were like, oh, well, we should probably do a video. So we're actually going to be doing a video so you guys can watch this. And then anybody who's also looking to learn like kind of how to get set up with like new clients, this should be beneficial to you as well. So what we were working on specifically was getting set up for conversion tracking, first of all, because the first things you always want to do is you want to get set up for online, and then hopefully if you're a local business, offline conversion tracking, and we can talk about that, what that is in a second. And then also rank tracking, and as most of you guys know, I use SEO Profiler for that. So we're just going to go into the analytics, and I was showing Kayla how to actually set up the conversions. So with local websites, one of the first things you want to do is you want to identify where the conversion points are. So if we go to Peak Performance, just type it in. And can you actually, oh, I guess you can't. I was going to say, can you open up the YouTube comments so we can see what people are asking?
Mm-mm.
Oh well, I'll just switch in between. So we'll go into here. And then if we go to the contact page, we'll be able to see where this is taking us, like in terms of what happens after we fill out the form. If it doesn't redirect to a thank you page, then it's kind of hard to track the conversions unless there's an event being sent to Google Analytics. So in most cases, the forms don't automatically send events to Google Analytics. So usually what I do is I'll just do like a test. I'll just do like Chase Reiner, or sorry, I guess it doesn't require a last name. Just put that in there again, put my email. Subject test, and then this is a test, please ignore. So we'll submit that, and then you'll see this goes to a thank you page. Now this didn't go to a thank you page before, so I had to set that up. And it's pretty easy to do. With Squarespace, it's a little different than WordPress. All you have to do is just go into Squarespace, and then on the contact form, you can actually just put redirect to target URL afterwards, and then you just redirect it to a page that's like contact thank you or whatever it is. The reason why I said contact thank you is because there's two conversion points. There's the contact form, and then there's the actual schedule an appointment, which is different. I don't know why this is, there we go. So with this, we actually have to figure out if there's a way to 301 after they make an appointment, or I mean not 301, do like a meta refresh or whatever. And apparently my cookies are disabled. But if there is a way to do this, then we would want to set that up for another thank you page, which would be different than the contact thank you page, so we can figure out where the different conversions are coming in from. So after you do that, you're going to want to set up your goal. So all you have to do is you just go into your Google Analytics, you go into your admin panel, and then you go to goals, and then you press new goal. We already have it set up, so I'll just go into that. And then goal set up, I'll just put contact us for the inquiry. Go to continue, and then the goal description is contact us. You can change this if there's like two contact us pages. So like the other one would probably be like book an appointment. And then I just go destination. Now, like I said, if the events are enabled and you can actually go to your events in Google Analytics, you can actually just say, you know, event equals whatever it's being sent as. You don't have to worry about that as much. And then you'll see the destination, you just press continue. And then for the destination, you put the thank you. And then you're going to verify the goal. Now you'll see that it says 0% conversion, so this might not be the correct expression that it's looking for. So if we re-verify it with these different ones, let's try regular expression. So none of these are showing up as conversions. Now, this might just be because there's nobody redirecting, but I'm pretty sure there has been redirects to these pages because when I set it up, it gave me a redirect. So one of the ways to test this is just to go back to analytics. and see if anybody has actually got to that page by going to content drill down. Oh, whoa, we got 17 people watching. Habib, hi, you are awesome. Can you make a live project video? That's kind of what we're doing in a way. Nazmul says, hello, boss. What's up, dude? Nugan says, let's get this SEO party started. MD says, hi, Reiner. Looking forward to your tutorial. Craig says, sup, Rumi, sup, Chase. What's up? All right, so what you do is you go into analytics, and we're going to go try to find that page and see if anybody's hit that page. So we would just go last week's fine. And actually, oh, sorry, this is the wrong account. Sorry, Google always changes my analytics account. So there it is. And then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to find that page. So I think if we just go to behavior, site content, and then all pages, we'll be able to find that page. So there's the contact. And then we want to find the contact thank you page. So let's go and show more rows. And it looks like still not seeing it yet. Let's go by, I think that's all of the rows. So I don't know why it's not showing up, because we have obviously been hitting this page on our own tests. So let me go into the contact page. We just had it. Grab this. And the next thing we can test is if the analytics are even on this page. I don't know why they wouldn't be. Let's just control. Oh, we're using Safari, so I can't view the page source. Gosh darn it. Here, I'll open up Chrome. Go like this, view page source. And you just have to type in UA. That's how you can see if the analytics are there. Or you can just type in analytics. Oops. So I'm not seeing the analytics. And I'm wondering if maybe this page, I don't know why this page wouldn't have analytics on it. Let's check out this one. So I'm wondering if the analytics somehow got removed. I don't think it has though, because it's Squarespace, so there wouldn't be any updates. Either way, this is like something where it's like if it takes too much time to figure out, you kind of just want to go on to the next task and like troubleshoot it when you're not doing a live YouTube video. Yeah, so I mean, honestly, this is the right way to do it. I don't know why it's not being tracked, but we'll figure it out off the video, because I want to continue showing you what the other things are that we need to implement. So the next thing would be the offline conversion tracking, like I was mentioning before. And for that, it's something that I probably want to create a separate video for, because it's going to take like an hour to do. But I will show you for the how to do the rank tracking. So assuming that this conversion tracking was set up correctly, which most of the time it is, but for some reason, since this is a weird Squarespace scenario, we're going to have to troubleshoot it. But what you do is you go to Search Console. And if they don't have Search Console, like Peak Performance didn't have Search Console set up, so we actually had to set it up, and that means we had no analytics. So in that case, we didn't have really the keywords that we could export through a CSV. So we just plugged their URL into Ahrefs, and then it gave us all their keyword data. And then we just exported like the first 50 results. And then I uploaded them to SEO Profiler, and I'll show you how that works. So we're gonna go into here, and then we're gonna find the website, hopefully. It's not in this account apparently. Might be in this account. Oh, actually, sorry, it's under spine and soft tissue. So I think it was under that account. Oops. There it is. So you click on that, and like I said before, this was when we started looking, we put in the Search Console. So we don't have too much information, but what you would normally do is you just filter by the last 90 days, go by impressions, click-throughs, and I mean, you don't have to, but it's nice to see. And then you set your date range to 90 days, and then you just go here to the bottom and press download. And then you get a CSV of all the things we're already showing up for, and you just want to make sure that our main keywords that we're going for, which you can pretty much just figure out just by looking for them, are in this. If they're not in that, then of course you want to add those. So you can see right here, these are all the keywords. So we would just go ahead and copy all of these like this. I'm used to Excel, so I don't know why. Oh, here we go. So you would just go like that. And I only do like the first 50 because with SEO Profiler or any rank tracking software in general, you can only do certain amounts of keywords before they like charge you to track more keywords. So I only try to do like 50 at a time. And sometimes you don't even need to do that much. So we're gonna go to SEO Profiler. And once we sign in, you'll see we're already got them set up, but this is how you set people up in SEO Profiler. So you go to projects, you go to add new project, you put the URL of the website, you just want to make sure it's the right version. I think SEO Profiler picks it up either way. And then you'll see all of your projects in here. And these are all the keywords we're tracking with it. So we would go into the website like this, and normally when you set it up, there would be no keywords tracked. So we'll just go into here. We're going to go to ranking monitor, ranked keywords, and then add keywords. And then that's when you just copy and paste them all in there, and then boom, you're good. Now, the reason why it's so important that we track these keywords isn't just because we want to show like the results, but we also want to monitor for whether or not we're getting higher positions or lower positions for what we're doing. And what's really cool about SEO Profiler is that if you go into alerts, it'll actually show you the positive things. So like you'll see we're going up for our brand name, we're going up for things around our keywords, but then you'll see there's negative changes as well. So like things like soft tissue doctor is going down. Really what it's about with analytics is understanding why these things are happening and whether or not it's totally good or it might be really good or really bad. In most cases, if you're doing SEO correctly, losing positions or losing like traffic might not always be a bad thing because you might be gaining positions or gaining traffic in another area or getting higher conversions. So that's why it's really good to cross compare these things with your conversion tracking. So we just got a question. MD said, can you put a checklist for today's live webinar? What are the things we are learning today? You are too fast. I can't keep up with the pace with your training. So Kayla is actually the person we're training right now. You can't see her, but she's actually taking tons of notes. If you guys want to, we'll make a web page after this. I'll put the link in the description or in the Facebook group, and you guys can go over there and download the Word document of it if you want it. And we will be doing more of these in the future because I'm going to be ongoing training Kayla on all this stuff. So you guys are also going to be able to learn in the process. So that's the first thing that you always want to do no matter what with your new clients, especially local, but even with national. Now, after you get your conversion tracking dialed in and your rank tracking, you're going to want to start taking notes for the things that are going to be most crucial. So today what we're doing is we're working on local. So we already started setting stuff up, like of course that conversion tracking, which apparently didn't work, we got to fix that. And then different things that we were requesting. So like for instance, we know that one of the big things for ranking is Google My Business optimizations, and we don't have pictures for the local business. So that was one of the requests we made. We need to get pictures. We also need to start responding to reviews. We need to start getting reviews. So these are things that we can immediately start doing and then also start working towards month 2 once we get the initial hours implemented for the first month. So this is how you can continually provide value and get more and more hours to work because you have more and more stuff that you're finding that needs to happen. So really quickly, what I like to do is since I worked on this, I think it was 4 or 5 days ago, I don't completely remember everything I was working on. So it's really good to just put the URL into Screaming Frog and then start a crawl and then just quickly overview what's actually going on. Because you can find a lot of this stuff just by doing a Screaming Frog crawl. So for instance, you'll see there's some 404s. We need to make sure those are fixed. The title tags aren't all set up. So all of these things are really easy things to fix, but it's about remembering what needs to be fixed first and what's going to be the most important things to start showing in the first months versus the things that aren't going to be as important. Now I can tell you the most important things to get started with are reviews, citations, getting your NAP, so name, address, phone number, and website consistent across the web. And these are things that you can fix very quickly with very little effort. So if we look into what's actually going on, you'll see that I started fixing some basic optimizations on some of the main pages, started adding local business markup. But one of the things that we really want to do is we want to put in our request, if we haven't done this already, is get citations built out. And I have a guy who actually does this for like $70, so I'll give you guys the link if you want that in the document as well. So we get the citations built out, and then we also want to plug them into Moz Local to make sure that they're consistent. If they're not, then we can automatically update these things, or we can just have Moz use its API to connect, and change this stuff for us. So the other big thing you can see is the internal linking isn't really happening. So I'm going to say that we do a combination of things, and one of the big things is doing the basic on-site. So this is probably actually going to be something that I'm going to give to Kayla to do. And I was telling her this before we went on, but I'll say it again. What we really want to do is focus on the topical focus. And for those of you who don't understand what that means, if you look at the title tags right here, you can see that we have our services, schedule appointment, contact, blog. Now, those are the only parts of the title. Now, what we want is we want to have something that's a related topic. So instead of it just being contact, we want it to be like contact, spine and soft tissue, or peak performance in St. Petersburg. Because then at least we can see, Google can see that across the site architecture, there's a lot of pages related to St. Petersburg. So that way we can be more relevant by having a lot of content on the website that's relevant to a certain area or to a certain niche, hopefully both. So that's what topical focus means. So that's one of the big things we want to work on first. So I'm just going to take a note in there. So these are all the things that we've already looked at, and and we're just going to create a new thing for what we need Kayla to do, or what we need to work on. So first thing is looking at title tags through Screaming Frog and optimizing around main topics. Now the biggest thing, and I actually said this to Kayla beforehand, was that you don't want your topics to be overlapping too much in terms of keywords. You want them to be related, but you don't want to have the same exact keyword focus like on every single page. Like you don't want to have to be like saying, on 4 different pages that you have chiropractor services St. Petersburg on the first part of the title tag in every single title. You want it to be like, contact us about our chiropractor services in St. Petersburg, or something related that isn't completely like targeting the exact same keywords in the exact same format on every page. That's not good. And what will happen is you end up getting your pages cannibalized by each other, and it just looks kind of spammy. So you don't want to do that. The next thing we want to do is, while we are, and I'll number these, while we're optimizing the topical focus, we want to start doing internal link silos. And you don't even have to think of the word silos. You could just say internal links to main pages. Now, a lot of people get this stuff messed up. If you look at your internal linking, you don't want to be just linking randomly for no purpose. And then also you don't want to be linking to pages that aren't going to be very important. So we know that the homepage is very important, and that we're going to be trying to rank the homepage for our main keywords. So for instance, chiropractor for home, our anchor text would be chiropractor St. Petersburg. Now the service page would probably be chiropractor services in St. Petersburg. Now that's pretty similar, but it's not similar enough where it's going to be cannibalizing each other. Now there might be other things like neck pain, St. Petersburg, which might have like a 300 monthly search rate. That's our job to figure out what the main keywords are, or the search rates are. But what's really important is that we're not trying to link to pages that are we're not trying to do a bunch of internal linking to pages that have 0 search rates. So a good example of this, if you guys are ever curious on what an internal linking structure should look like, I always use this guy as an example, and this is the guy I actually learned local SEO from just by spending hours and hours studying this site. but it's called sbpctech.com, and it's a guy who's ranking like #1 for computer repair in my city. Actually might be ranking like #2 now, but you'll see on all of his pages, he has 2 to 3 internal links. So you want 2 to 3 internal links per page. You don't need to go over that. You also only want 2 to 3 external links per page, and it's actually important to do external linking as well because it makes you look more authoritative. Now, the thing is also, you don't want to over-optimize your pages with linking and keywords. You can literally mention your keywords like twice or 3 times per page and you're fine. I mean, anything over that is going to be overkill, and if you use SEO Profiler, it will actually show you that you're over-optimizing. And a lot of SEO checkers don't actually look at your alt tags or other on-page elements that might play into over-optimization. So if you have a bunch of images with alt tags in your keywords, you can get away with saying the keywords less in the content because you have it in your alt tags. So it's better to mention related keywords than it is to mention like your same keywords over and over. Let's see what we got. All right, we got 23 people in here, guys. If you haven't liked the video, please give it a like. And if you haven't joined our Facebook group, you should head over to the SEO network or text the word SEO to 66866 and you can get in there. Okay, so internal linking. To main pages, so that's also going to be like figuring out the keywords for those pages, but we kind of already know. Also, the other things that we want to look at is like the site structure. You can see we have our services without any service pages built out. So that's one of the things that we want to ask for, and let's just see if we asked for that already. So we go to requests, you can see citations. We can just do a Control F, or if you're on a Mac, Command F, and type in service. Oh, and I think I just saw it. So can we get service pages built out instead of linking to other websites? So that's what's happening right now is we're just linking our services. And this is a big way to start doing our link silos like we were just talking about. And also to continue to build out the site to be relevant with the service pages that we're trying to rank for these different keywords that we probably have search rates on. The other big thing is that we want to try to create relevant blog posts. Now this sounds crazy, but it actually does matter to do content marketing when you're local. I actually have a client that was ranking like #10 organically, and then we started doing 1 blog a week around his niche, and we were starting to get, we went up to #1 within the next month or 2, and also locally. So it's really important, and this is also for my own site. When I was doing it for SEO Santa Barbara, I was doing content marketing and creating blog posts around SEO, and then I started ranking locally for SEO as well. Not only because you're creating content that's authoritative and getting social signals and social shares and building email lists and all that stuff, but you're also at the same time able to do those internal links to the other pages. So that's one of the other things that we want to ask about. Let's go back to Screaming Frog. So this is going to take a while. So you can see the meta descriptions. These all need to be built out. Of course, we don't want to have any duplicate meta descriptions. All of the title tags, you can see, they're all, a lot of them are missing. Some of them are duplicates. We want to make sure that those are being done. So that, I would say that would probably take us a good 4 to 5 hours to get done. And while that's happening, we of course want to get those citations built out. And then one of the big things is start getting the reviews generated. Now, I usually say about 2 to 3 reviews a day. So that means if you're getting 2 to 3 reviews a day and maybe like 30% of the people you message are leaving your reviews, you only want to message about 10 people per day because you don't want to get way too many reviews at once because that's going to show up as a flag to Google. The other thing that we're probably going to want to start doing is something called competitive link building, which you usually do that after citations, and I have a video on how you do this, but it's pretty easy. All you have to do is figure out who your top competitors are. So we would type in something like chiropractor St. Petersburg, like this. And we would look at who's also ranking for this. And we would go to this website and just go to like a free backlink tool. I use Ahrefs because I have a free subscription, but you can go to any free backlink tool like Backlink Watch and plug these competitors in here and look for URL or links that might be something that you could probably grab. And I did this with my own computer repair websites and found some pretty easy links that were like from .gov websites. And of course, you want to make sure that you're looking at these links. And if they look really spammy or you have to pay for them or any of that stuff, you don't want to get those. And you'll see a lot of these people who are ranking for this stuff is so lame. They all are using exact match keywords. I hate that. Of course, I've done this on my own websites, but it's just so annoying trying to compete with stuff like that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to answer some questions. Let's see. Rooster, what's up, dude? Oscar says, smash the like button. MD says, nice explanation. Is there a tool of ratio of keyword besides WordPress? Yeah, I'd try SEO Profiler. I think you're talking about over optimizations. So yeah, that's going to be what we want to start working on in terms of building out the content. So we have a couple options. We can actually put together some suggestions now. So sometimes what I'll do is after like 5 hours or 10 hours of optimizations, I will actually go and put together an email and say, hey, these are the things that we need to do to keep moving forward. Now, this really depends on whether or not the person ordered a certain amount of hours. If they only ordered 5 hours, then I'm going to say, okay, this is the next things we should work on. It's probably going to take 10 hours or whatever it is. But this is how I do it. So I'm going to say, Matt, we are making great progress. But we need a few things from you if possible. Now, if this was at the end of the month, by the way, I would include a report. But since it's only been like 15 days after the initial optimizations, or even like maybe like 5 or 10 days, there's no reason I should be sending over a report. And there's also no reason why I should be waiting to ask for these things either, because this is just going to give us more stuff that we can do. So we're making great progress, but we need a few things from you. And then this is I'm just going to list the most important things. I don't like to overwhelm clients or even people in general with too many things, because of most of you guys know you can get really in depth with the stuff you do, and you can literally try to go do everything, and it's not productive. So the first thing is we need pictures. So I'm going to go back over here and grab the request. So we're just going to go like this, grab it over, put it in here. And the cool thing about this too, guys, is that you can actually do something that's really cool. If you wanted to, you could start like keeping track of all of the interactions and emails and everything that you're taking notes of and the audits and everything, and you can put it into a huge case study. So that's like one of those things where it's like you can get thousands and thousands of words of content just by keeping track of your email conversations and making it into like a page about what you're doing, and then you can go ahead and rank that. And we'll talk about that a little bit more, but I actually have some examples of that on my own website. So the next thing that we really want is we want to start generating those reviews. So the best way to do this is through like Facebook. So I'm just going to say, can you give me access to your Facebook to start asking for reviews, or maybe an email list. So I'll say Facebook account or current or email list, email, because that's going to be really big. Of course, the clients can do this stuff themselves, but I mean, what's the point in hiring us if they're going to try to do everything? It doesn't make sense. So the next thing would be getting plugged into Moz Local. Now let's just double check that they're not plugged into Moz Local before we start this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go head over here like this, type in moz.com/local. And by the way, for those of you who are watching and you've been seeing all my buffer posts in the Facebook group, I apologize for the 404s. I took off a lot of pages on my website. I need to cancel my buffer account. I've been like literally posting every day in the Facebook group with buffered, and they're all 404 pages. Okay, peak performance. So all you have to do is just type in the business name, peak performance, and then you type in the zip code, which I'm hoping we can get, so we scroll down. There it is. Wait, is that the business? It can't be a zip code, is it? Let's try peak performance spine. I think that's it. But that's in Texas. This is in Florida. Oh, there it is. The heck is two? Oh, that's. I wasn't even looking. Kayla, do you have any questions?
No,
Really?
keep rocking.
You have questions. You wanted to know about. Okay, let's go into here. So this is also a bad sign when you see multiple business business listings, because you want them to be. So you'll see right here also. So one of the cool things is if we do get them set up in Moz, what you can actually do is while Moz is connected to all of these platforms through an API, and it just automatically manages this stuff for you. But if you want to like make the process faster after you sign up, you can just go into update listing and do it yourself, and then Moz will pick it up. So that's one of the things is we want to get it set up in Moz Local. Now, if we just build for this beforehand, we could just do this. We could just say, hey, but we didn't bill for it, so we're going to say, can we get a Moz Local subscription? And then let's say it's $80 for a year, or we'll just say it's $80. I can invoice you for this and get it set up for you. And then the last thing I think is, can we get a content plan? So, for instance, the service pages. So I'm only going to ask for 4 things. And of course, like I said before, we can ask for 100 more things. Actually, the call tracking is one of the last things we want to ask for. So I'm going to say, before the content, I'm going to say, can we get you set up on call tracking metrics to start tracking your calls. You can sign up here, and then we'll just grab the URL. Now this also has to do with how savvy the people are. So like there's certain clients I would never send a URL like this to, because I don't think that they know how to set up like even like an email. But with other clients, like it's completely fine to send them an email like this. And also you have to figure out how like much these people actually want to have hassle. Some people don't want to do anything. And most of the time I actually try to get rid of those clients or not accept them, because I don't want to work with people who are not going to do a little bit of work with me. Can we start building out content or content for service pages and blog? I can hire someone to write this for us if you don't want to. So I always like to put an alternative if they don't want to do something. There are certain things that they have to do, like the images. We can't outsource those images. But we can outsource the content. So there's 5 things. Now, like I said, I don't want to give too many things because I don't want to overwhelm them. And I also don't want to like slow down the process because we're not able to do anything else. Which is why it's good to actually say in here, that you're still working on certain things, but really what it's going to be is figuring out what needs to happen first. Now, because he already ordered so many hours, I'm just going to say we're going to continue to optimize pages on the website with titles, with topical seeding through titles, heading tags, on page, factors, etc. But the sooner we can get these things from you, the faster we can start making progress. Because the on-page is not as important as these other things. Of course, a lot of this has to correlate with on-page, but these are some of the big ones. And then it's also figuring out your KPIs, because like your Google My Business optimization and ranking locally on the map is probably a higher KPI than ranking organically, depending on what you're going for. Necros says, sup, I like Moz. Oscar says you can outsource images, aka hire a freelancer photographer. Yeah, you could do that too, but then we'd have to find somebody in that area, Oscar. You want to go out there, man? Dwayne says, is Keyword Tool Pro worth buying or needed to do keyword research? No, it's not necessary. I just use it because I got it for free. A lot of the tools I get are paid tools, and I get them for free because I do like reviews on them. You can do SEO without buying really anything. You can use the keyword tool or the keyword planner. It's just like all of these tools give you a little bit of an edge in different ways. So I think that's it for this client. We're going to send over that email. Now we do have progress for our stuff that we have to do for a lot of other clients, but we actually have to go jump into a meeting right now. So we might be doing another video later today. Like I said, if you haven't hit the like button, please go ahead and do that. It helps me out a lot. And hopefully we'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Also, I think either today or tomorrow I'll be doing the giveaway for the tickets to Vegas. So make sure you guys stick around for that as well. So until I see you guys next time, happy SEOing.